Yes, welcome. This is Seriously Speaking. I'm talking seriously today about mental health. You know how it is? Most of us don't want to even agree that we are shades away from really jumping off a cliff or doing something really stupid because our minds have a way of playing tricks on us. Now, it's important that we realize that mental health is key. With all the stories we've heard in recent times about people getting up and jumping off the bridge or people just suddenly stabbing their spouses, it's not sudden. It started with little drops. I have two guests in the house, two beautiful ladies that will be treating this. One of them has lived it and one of them treats it. I'll be back on Seriously Speaking in a short while. Yes, let me start by introducing you to my first guest. Her name is Chris Oziofu Ero. Chris, oh Chris, if you were in America, you would have been, your place of birth was where you're from. You were born in Kano. Where were you born?
I was born in Jos.
So you have been a Plateau person? I'd
have been a Plateau person by virtue of where I was born. But where I lived and spent most of my years, growing up years, Kano.
So you were a northerner?
I'm a northerner. I schooled in Zaria and, so it was after, I even served in the north. So
how did that happen? Because your name is an Edo name, so they thought that...
I'm sure, yeah, exactly.
Maybe she's not from this side.
And the funny thing is I wanted to serve in Lagos, but it didn't work out, and they gave me Kwara State. I tried to do all the whole transfer and stuff, and my dad warned me, better take what you were given, So I stuck with what I had. And
no, you did geography.
I did geography.
You would have liked to be an engineer. Now you're a communicator.
Not like loved to be an engineer. And why am I a communicator now? Yes. It just happened, I guess. It just happened. I've always loved to talk. I've always loved to communicate, right? And I've always loved to write as well. But I thought my passion, I thought that was my passion, being an engineer, because I love to tinker with things. I like to see things build. I like to build them, actually. But as fate would have it, I ended up in the geography department. I left geography, and funnily enough, when I came to Lagos and I started working, everywhere I've worked has been in the media. So I've always.
What was the first place of work?
I worked in the media. I worked in RMS. I worked at RMS. That was my first place, and then I worked with Media Track, and then from there I worked with Tajuddin Adekpetu for quite a number of years. And I'd like to say, in fact, he was very phenomenal, very instrumental to what it is that I
stay with media.
Stay with media, because I saw him very creative, very ingenious, and he's very, how do I put it, very accommodating. He allows you to think outside the box. And so that actually fueled my creativity, and I realized that, well, this is something I can do. This is something that I love, But while I was doing all that, I was working behind the scenes. So I've never really been in front of the camera.
You look good in front of the camera.
Well, now I know. Initially, I didn't think I looked good enough in front of, but I was more of a marketer. More of a communicator. Corporate communications, behind the scenes, just that. So my foray into all this happened when I lost my memory.
When you lost 2 years.
When I lost
Tell me about that, because you were working on radio.
Yeah, no, I wasn't working on radio when it happened. I was actually running my own business when it happened. So as I said, I was into corporate communications.
Should I believe you? If you remember that was your business?
No, really. Because the reason why I went into the media, why I even went to radio, it was my husband that advised me to do that. Because then I knew nothing, I didn't
about your past.
I knew nothing about anything. I didn't know anything about where I was, the country, the government, politics, entertainment, social. I didn't know anything. So he advised me, because I spent most of my time in front of the TV at home, just trying to put myself into the mix, learning social media.
But you knew you were in Nigeria, sir?
They told me I was. It was like a blank slate. It was the only thing I knew, was like, I just thought I was 16 years old for whatever reason. That was just it. But beyond that, I knew nothing, So he felt the best way for me to immerse myself into life was to work in a media house, maybe go into radio better, and involve myself in research and stuff like that. So I went into radio as an intern.
Meanwhile, you had already graduated, done everything.
I had worked, and funny, I didn't even know how highly placed I was, until, especially because some of the stars, knew me. And when they came to the radio station and they saw the tag, they saw the tag intern, and they were like, Chris. Because I didn't even know who they were, but I was like, okay, yeah. And then I go to the
Give me an example.
Okay, Ginny. Ginny met me, Darren as well. And these were people that had worked closely with. So when they came and they saw me, doing what I was doing, it was a bit shocking for them. But I didn't explain to them why. Because I didn't know what... No, I didn't. Because I didn't know how to explain. And even then...
So you pretend like you know them?
Yeah, of course, I had to. That was how I survived. I pretended I knew people. And I told someone that what the period taught me was that I'm very good at acting. I could be a very great actress, like seriously, because what I did to survive was and my memory came extremely on point.
Tell me what happened.
Apparently, what happened was I went into a coma.
You had 3 kids at that time?
I had 2 kids. The second kid was about 5 months old when this happened, so...
She or he?
A boy.
Okay.
So I had 2 boys. And he was about 5 months old when this happened.
How old is he now?
He's 4. He's 4. And he's going to be 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to be 5. So...
so this happened 5 years ago?
Yeah.
This happened in 2013?
Yes, it did. It happened 2013. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And I went into a coma and I woke up in the hospital.
Were you in an accident?
I was in an accident.
I
just slumped. According to my husband then, it happened quite early in the morning.
You woke up?
Between 12 and 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. I think I was supposed to go to the bathroom or something to have a bath or something like that. And that was how I slumped.
You fell and must have hit your head.
Well, they searched my brain, they searched my head. With all the scans that I did, they thought that I had suffered a trauma of some sort, right? But they couldn't find any bruising. So I don't think the bruising was not external, apparently. It was more internal.
So you fell. So what did your husband do?
He took me, that was the last I remembered. So the next thing I knew was I was in the hospital. I woke up in a strange place and, people were all around me, but I didn't know who they were, and this guy says he's my husband. I'm like, hey, hold on.
But do you think he was good looking though?
Sorry?
Did you think he was good looking?
That wasn't what came to my mind. That was the last thought on my mind. What was on my mind was, goodness gracious, what's happening to me? Because I don't know if you can understand.
But they told you this is your husband?
Then, yes, the doctor, because nobody knew. It was when I started asking certain questions, when I was asking, like, who is he, and they were looking at me strangely. Even my brother had to come in.
How long were you in a coma for?
I was in a coma for almost 48 hours.
Okay.
Almost 48 hours. And what led to it was a spike in my blood pressure. It had really gone so high, and the only way my body could survive was to shut down. So it was in the process of shutting down that I collapsed, and apparently the whole thing, took my memory with it.
So for 2 years you were at that point?
So for 2 years.
So that's why I want to invite my next guest to join us to have this conversation, because you're going to write all of this in the book. Trust me, I'll publish it.
You're not the first person to tell me. If someone has told me to do a movie.
On the publishing. Dibs on the publishing. But I must bring Dr. Maimuna, my psychiatrist friend, into the house to join us on this conversation to understand how this could have happened. I'll be right back on Seriously Speaking. Yes, Dr. Maimuna has joined. I just call her Dr. Maimuna. Because, first of all, she's as bright as sunshine. I'll change your name to Sunshine. Because if you follow her on social media, everything she wears, colors, brightness, is that on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Branding.
Wow.
Branding, or you're bringing sunshine to people's lives?
Bringing sunshine, making people happy. Facebook has these activities, changing the world or making people happy or making things happen. Yeah. So
by the way, everybody on this set is from Edo State. Hello.
Hi.
And it was just by accident, honestly. This is all Edo, apart from name. This is Akoko Edo.
Auchi.
And this is Akoko Edo. Okay, I've swapped it around.
Yeah, you swapped it.
So you also schooled in Sokoto. Why did you choose medicine?
As a child, everybody does say, to save lives. But of course, I chose medicine because of so many things that were happening as a child. Being from a polygamous home, a lot of children, my mom lost 2 pregnancies. I saw my mom suffer at one stage or the other. And I just said, I would like to be a doctor just to be saving lives on time. That was it, on time.
Them on time.
Yes, so I think that was...
And then you decided to be a mad doctor. You know how they look at psychiatrists and say they are,
Yeah, no, a lot of people call me mad doctor. Even my friends don't call me my doctor. They rather call me my friend. If they make that mistake, they quickly say, sorry. You are not my doctor, you are my friend. My case never bad reached.
Because nobody wants to say I'm seeing a psychiatrist.
Nobody wants to say.
In this part of the world,
in this part of the world, we are highly stigmatized. Despite
That's the professionals.
The professionals, aside from our clients and patients, the professionals are highly stigmatized. So.
No, but you don't blame them, do you?
But the truth is that we all need a shrink in our life. We all need a shrink. A shrink, as a friend, keeps you away from being psycho, kind of.
But I'm sure your dad wasn't too happy when you said,
oh, no, there was a family meeting.
You're the first daughter.
There was a family meeting. No, forget that one.
For real?
There was a family meeting. And then I was already married. So when they tried convincing me that there is no mad person in this house. So why are you thinking of mental health? They thought, okay, she's married, let us speak to her husband. So everybody was on my husband, convince her, let her understand that we are not mad here. The only mad person we know is that man that has been in the market since, all that. And my husband tried to convince me, but the truth is that it never worked. But I am so happy today because everyone around me, dad, mom, siblings, husband, they are all psychiatrists by association.
Even some of us who know you privately.